G'day kids, mums and dads, Aaron here from Charlie Boots. Thanks for tuning in to another one of our online instructional videos here on our website. These videos are at the heart of what we do here at Charlie Boots because we're all about kids learning new creative skills in the comfort of home and ending up with a really amazing piece of either craft or art or robotics, maybe, that they can be really proud of. And today, as I said, we're going to be doing some robotics. So let's get stuck into it. Alright guys, so today we're going to be building the robotic arm, and we're going to be building one of the models from the 12-in-1 solar hydraulic kit that we have with us at Charlie Boots. Obviously this is all part of the Creative Kids program, so what we want to do in this video is tell you guys how to build these robots, but also teach you some of the things that robots need to function along the way. Things like movement, hydraulics, electricity, solar power. So we're going to go through all those as we're building them. And to get started, what you guys are going to need is a sharp knife. So make sure you get mum and dad's permission to do the kit and get their help should you need it. You'll need a small screwdriver. You'll need some water, which will be the fluid for the hydraulic rams. And just a paper towel in case of spilling water. But let's get stuck into it. And the first thing we're going to do is read the instructions, because that way we know that we're not going to make any mistakes. And the first part of the instructions is to say, don't skip ahead. Follow each step as it goes in the instructions. Don't think you know how it's all going to go or how it's going to go together. You may think that you do know how it works, but just take your time, follow the instructions, and don't try to get it all done in an hour or even at one time. If it's going to take you more than the time you have available, that's okay. Make sure you put it all away, put it back in the box, and then when you have more time, come back and start again. So let's turn the camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing. And the first thing we're going to do is build our solar module assembly. And then from there, we're going to build our gearbox assembly. So let's get stuck into it. I'm excited. This is going to be great fun. All right, we've got our instructions open. We've read through our introduction, talking about how the models are going to work. We can see all the tools we need, some cutters or a knife, screwdriver, a cup of water, some tissue paper, and then it has our parts list. And it starts with the mechanical parts list, which we need for the electric motor, the solar panels, the soft tube for the hydraulic connections, some gears, some cardboard dividers, which is used to segment the parts, and all our plastic parts, and they're all contained in here. And we leave them in there. What this is called the frame. We'll leave all the parts in the frame until we actually need them. And then here, tip, cut off the burrs before assembly. So when we take a part out, we'll cut it out, and then we'll just make sure that there's no burrs left on the side of the piece. That way it won't interfere with the operation of the robot. So let's get stuck into it. And solar module assembly. And for that, we're going to need some of the parts in this plastic bag. So obviously with plastic bags, kids and mums and dads, don't leave them lying around. They need to go straight in the bin when you're finished with them. So we need this component. And we also need A14, and all the frames are labeled. So we can see here, there is a label. So this is C, you guys can see that. The white one is C, the grey one is D, we have the blue one is A, and the yellow frame is B. So I'll put those away for now. So I need to get piece A14, which is this piece here. So you can pop it out with your fingers, it's pretty easy. And as the instructions say, clean up the burrs just with a knife like that. And it's just a case of taking those extra pieces of plastic off wherever they were connected. Just like so. So we've cleaned it up. So we've got A14, and then we need P9 times 2. And they are these sponges in here, which is like a backing sponge. So open that Ziploc bag, get them out, and out they come. And it's important to hold the piece that you're assembling just like the diagram says. So A14, A14, we hold it this way. So we're not getting it wrong, we're not holding it upside down, we're holding it the correct way. And these pieces go on here, and they're self-adhesive. So we peel off the back, and on it goes. And it's adhesive on both sides, so you need to take off the adhesive from the top as well. And then we do the same here. If at any point you need to slow down my instructions in the video, just pause the video, nice and simple, and then you can continue once you've caught up. It's also a really good idea to check your progress against the progress in the instructions and the ones that you see that I'm doing here in front of you. That way you know you're on the right track. Bits of rubbish, we'll put them in there. So now we need our solar panel. And so we'll open that up. Put our plastic in the bin. And we'll note how this piece goes. Okay? We got a solar panel here. And you have to take off the protective film. So we do that. And then it glues in here. And these springs here need to sit in the recesses at the back there. There it goes. And now we need B25, which, remember, B is the yellow frame. So we're looking for B25 and B31. So here's B25 here. And use our knife just to cut them out. If you're using a knife, always make sure you cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. And we'll get these little burners off. Like so. And so B31 clicks on the side there, like that. And you can, in the diagram it says click, click. And you've got to hear that click so you know that it's put in correctly. And we'll do the same on this side. Click, and it is in. And there is our solar module completed. So what we'll do, there's our completed solar module. We will put that to one side for now and start with our gearbox assembly. And this one here gives you what the finished product looks like. So basically what we're doing here is creating a series of what is called sub-assemblies, small components you have to build first in order to make the final robot. So let's find A5, and remember A is the blue frame. And you know which ones are because there's in these little corners here, it'll tell you the number. So we have 5, 6, for example, and this is A5. Cutting it out. Taking off our burrs, cutting away from ourselves, like so. All those burrs are good. Okay. So, holding the piece just as the instructions. So here it is here, A5, A5, and now we need to find B26. And B is yellow. So here's 26 right here. Gently cutting away. Cleaning up the burrs. And B26 goes in these two slots here. Like so. And then we'll find B10, which is this little piece here. Sometimes you can just twist the past out like that. make sure we take those burrs off. And 10 goes in here, like that. Push it all the way in, so I can't go any further. You can always push down on the table too if you need to. There we go. B3. So 6, 5, 1, 2, 3. 3 is up here on our yellow B frame. In the burrs. And B goes in this position here, like so. In there. You guys see that? Push it all the way in. It's a little tight, but it does go in. You'll see on there, there's a couple of, on B3, there's a couple of locator slides on the top of the arms that connect in, so it only goes in there one way. Right, step 2 is to get P5 and P10 and C1. So those are some of our gears. And in here we have our gear shaft, 5. So here, see, step 2, we need P5, which is this piece here, and C1, which goes in there. And then we have P10, which is the short, smooth shaft. So you've got to make sure that when you put P5 in, it goes in the correct way, as per the diagram, with the cog towards the bottom of the shaft. And in it goes. Like so. The shaft is hexagonal, which means it can only go in one way. And then we have the small, smooth shaft, and it goes in the hole here just below and to the left of P5. And then we need, so step 3, we need P7, which is green, and it goes face down on there, and that goes second. So we put this in here like so, and then the other green one goes on top like that. So the bottom one first, and then the top one of the P7 green pieces. Step 4, we need to get P4 and P1. P1 is our electric motor, which is this tiny little guy right here. Believe it or not, that is an electric motor. And then we need P4, which is a little cog, which is this guy here. And P4 goes on the end with the smooth circular part of the cog towards the bottom, as per the instructions. And then it goes, as you can see here, in there. And then we have to run the cables around. So in it goes, and then the cables go around and in the slot just here. And you can push down with your screwdriver to hold those cables in position. Just like so. So this is how it should look. So before you turn the page, have a look at your gearbox sub-assembly, and you should have B26 here, B10, B3, just like in step 1. Step 2, we've got P5, which is the gear with the shaft here. We have the bearing, which is C1 underneath it. We have the smooth shaft next to it. Then we have our 2 green cogs, P7. The bottom one goes on first, and then the top one. And then we've added the cog to our electric motor and positioned our electric motor in its cradle with the the wires running around and through this slot and then out through the hole here. Okay, if you guys have done that, fantastic, you're on your way. If not, just go back and make sure that your sub-assembly is looking like this. Now we can turn the page, and we need another C1. Remember, C is the white frame, so we'll cut that out. Take off our little burrs. And C1 goes on top here, like so. And then we have our red cog, which goes on here. And it gives you a diagram how it should look. So the red is on top, and then we have our 2 greens, and then P5, which is exactly how it's looking. And now we need A6, which is the other side of this housing. So we'll pop that out. Take all our burrs off. And it all clicks together. Like so. So you can see what this has done is created the assembly which holds the electric motor, a series of gears to give the motor more power, and the power is then sent outside. So you have a hexagonal tooth here and another hexagonal tooth here which sticks out, which future components will stick to, and that'll be rotated by the electric motor, which is now located inside here. So now we're going to screw it together. So we need P8 with 2 little screws. 1, 2, and our plastic bag is rubbish. And you can see where those screws go in these holes here. So 1 in here and 1 in here. So in they go. You can just jiggle the sub-assembly around till the screw goes in the hole. And it doesn't have to be overly tight, just as long as you can't tighten it anymore. And that's as far as it goes. And there's 1 screw. And 2 screws. That's that one. And that one. Okay. Step 9, we need pieces B18 times 4. And B is our yellow frame, and here is our 4 B18 pieces. So we'll cut them out. There we go, all of them at once. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and particularly important to get rid of the burrs on these ones, because if there are burrs there, that may stop the movement of the electric motor. So, and then these go, as you can see here in the instructions, holding the instructions just like holding the model as our instructions look. And you can see that these click on here. One there. One there. Like so. And the instructions tell us that they go on a certain way. So with the teeth pointing outwards, like that. Step 11, we need B21, sorry, so step 10, we need C14 times 2. And the white frame is the C frame, and here's our C14 pieces. And we'll take them out. One, 2. Take off our burrs. And they go on our hexagonal drives with this piece here sticking outwards. Like that. And it engages the 2 sets of yellow teeth here. So we do that on both sides. And you got to have it so they're both in the same position, like this, at the top. Just like I've done there. Make sure these parts here are at the top, as per the diagram. So, step 11, we need B21. And B21 is looking up here, B21. And it goes on here, like that, up there. And same with this one, like so. And then we need B4. B4. This one here. So make sure we align the pieces correctly, and B4, one clicks on there and the other one clicks on there, like that, and it should lean forward. And eventually what's going to happen is the electric motor will turn that arm, as you can see. So then we need B2 up here. Beautiful. Turn that around, put our arm in the top position, and then we click on B2 onto the motor arm, and so that they're both like that. So before you go any further, make sure your gearbox assembly is looking just like this. And if not, go back, retrace your steps, and make sure you haven't missed anything. So then it goes on to talking about our gearbox testing. So assembly, so we need A12. A12, there it is, A12. And it goes yeah, so it's this hole and it clicks into there. You do it right. On it goes. And then we have our solar module. And this hole goes into the second hole up here. Like so. And now we need A9. Which is this piece here. As you can see, there's quite a lot to this build, so you certainly don't want to rush it, and nor do you want to try to get it all done as fast as you possibly can, which I guess is the same thing as rushing it, but you know, definitely take your time. So there's our solar module, and then we have our wires, and red is the positive, which goes in here. And you basically just slide it in like that, and the black is the negative, which goes on this side. Alright, so next steps, eye assembly. So we need A1 and B38 times 2 to make some eyes. So we'll pop them out. There's one A1, two A1s, and we need some B38s right here. 1, 2. As always, we'll clean them up. And in they go, pretty straightforward, just like that. Some blue and yellow eyes, interesting. So they're done. Next step is the right claw assembly. So we need A20 and A2. So we can find them here. So we need 2 right claws, so there's our A20s, we need, so our A2s, we need some A20s. These are some nice simple parts for you guys to do after the more complex sub-assembly of the gearbox and the solar module. And so these guys go in here. 1, 2, there's 2 of them. There are 2 rights and we need to do 2 lefts. So that means we need A8 and A13. Here's our A8s. 1, 2, and our A13s are up here. And on they go. You can't really mess these ones up, they're pretty straightforward. And there's our 2 left claws. Right, that's done. Hydraulic module assembly, how to oil the parts. So, in here we have P14 and we need C18. And that's this piece here. Remember, the white frame is the C frame, and here is C18 right here. So we'll pop that out. Like so. It says, do not spill any oil from the C18 oil sink. Keep oil contained. So we put the contents of the oil from the sachet into C18. And C18 isn't actually used in the model, it's used purely to hold the oil, and we use an applicator called C15. So nice and gentle, just squeeze that in. It's a very thick oil. Squeeze the whole lot in. Of course, if you make a mess, so there it is, our oil is in our reservoir, and we have to go in the bin. And we need C15, which is this piece here. This piece isn't part of the model, so we don't need to clean it up. We use this piece to oil the components of the hydraulic system. So we need E1. E1 is D, C, D, E, over here. These are E-frames. So E1 is this piece here. And we'll clean it up. Get all the burrs off. As you can see here, so we use C15 in the oil. And you can see by the diagram, you don't want it dripping with oil, you just want enough on there. It's kind of like honey. And then we use that to lubricate the inside of the cylinder in here. So just like this. And we'll do that twice. We'll lubricate that twice. Like so, and then we'll put that back in there. And now we need P12 and B17. So P12, and is a little piece here. And B17. And it goes on the end there, like that. And make sure we still have plenty of oil on there. Oil it up. And then in this goes. And it needs to go in straight. Like that. Just like in our diagram. You see here, there's a picture here. Don't put it in sideways, it needs to go in just like that. And then we have C12, which is our white frame. C12 and C13. So 12 and 13 right here. It doesn't want to come out. And I just dropped that on the floor. Go back again. So C12 and C13. So 12 is this piece, and it goes on there, and then 13 goes on the underside, and they click together like that. You should see here, click, click. So that's cylinder 1 assembly, like so. On to the next step, cylinder 2 assembly. So we need B19 and another P12. There's P12. And then we need B19. Here. So, and this goes on the end, so it's nice and square and all the way down. And then we need E2, which is this piece here. You notice that these hydraulic pieces are transparent, and that means we'll be able to see the fluid moving in there as we use the model, and also see if there's any air bubbles in there, because the air bubbles will prevent proper function of our hydraulic rams. So, back to our oil, not too much, and oiling the inside here, and we'll do that twice. Like so, and then holding the cylinder ram with this piece pointing down, we push this in so it can't go any further, and then we need C10 and C11, which is here, 10 and 11. Take the burrs off. And 10 goes on top. And 11 goes underneath. And you should hear that click. Right, so step 4, how to fill the cylinder up with water. So you can see here cylinder 1. So we get cylinder 1, which we put over here. Here's cylinder 1. And pull the piston to the top as shown. So pull all the way to the top, and then press down the piston to the bottom and redo to fill up the cylinder with water. So it's pretty straightforward. So put it in the water with the piston down, pull up, push it out, keep doing that till it fills up full of water. And that's it, it is now full of water. Now don't push it, because you'll obviously squirt the water out. So leave it there, and then we connect the soft tube, fill cylinder 1 and the soft tube with water. So connect our soft tube, and it needs to go on all the way. Not just on a little bit, push it all the way down as far as you can get it. Just like that. Just as you can see there in our diagram, make sure it's all the way down, not only half down. And then to fill it up, we stick that in the water, and then we pull up entirely, and we do that several times to fill it up full of water. If there's an air bubble in there, then you got to push it all out and start again. That's it. So now I have water in the hose and water in my cylinder, so I'm just going to set that down. And now fill up cylinder number 2 with water. So in it goes, up and down, so it's completely full of water. You can test that by squirting the water out. now that's full of water, and then we connect it to the other end of our hose, and we'll do that over the water. Now what you're going to find here is the hose is going to be wet, so it's important to get some paper towel to dry everything. Push that one to the bottom. Dry paper towel. There it goes. So now that's on, and we do some testing. So push the end of this one and it should push that one out. So there we go, and it does, perfect. And then push the end of this one and that one goes up, and that's the hydraulic pressure perfectly working. Excellent. Okay. So there is our motor and solar panel subassembly. We've created our hydraulic module and we've tested both of them and they work. Now we can start with the build of our Tyrannosaurus Rex. Alright, so building the Tyrannosaurus Rex is going to start at page 49. And the instructions start here, so let's get stuck into it. So step one, we need D6, D7, and D6 again. So remember, D is our grey panel, and we need D6, which is this one here. 2 of them, 1, 2, and D7. Which is this piece here. And we need cylinder number 2. Holding it this way. And then these pieces all go together. Like this. A couple of burrs there we're going to take off. And then this piece goes into this hole here from this direction. So this arm here needs to be pointing down when you attach this. And it goes on there, like that. And it says here, make sure it's pointing downwards. And then D2s need to go into these side pieces here. So we've got our D2s. There's lots of D2s. And we put them in like so. Yeah. Take the burr off. And they're only going in one way. So you're going to make sure that the split is outwards. So the split goes outwards just like it says here. So now we need A7, which is, remember A is our blue frame, and here's A7 here. Taking off our burrs. And then we need our gearbox module. So this is these two holes go in these two holes here, like so. And then we need D3. And here's our D3, so we'll pop one of those out. And it goes in the very top. Like so. And then we get our RAM. You can see where all the holes line up. So we've got this goes in here. There it goes. And now we need A3. And those two holes go in there. Our hydraulic ribbon goes in there, and that goes in there. Make sure your assembly is looking like that. And now we need some D2s, and they go in here, here, and here, and here. So D2 is one of them. One there, one there, and then the same on the other side. And that's that done. So now we're making the head part one. So we need D4 and an A16. Here's our A16 and D4. One of these. It's going rolling under there. There he is. So A16, holding it in this direction and putting the small end of D4 goes in the middle hole here. And then we need two D1s to go in the two holes here, 1, 2. So we get our D1s. And we needed two of them. And they go on the inside. There it is. that. And then we need A11, which is right here. A11. And they go in there. Push it all the way in. So it's looking like that. And we have another D1 that goes in there. So we'll get another D1 out. It goes in. There, like so. And then we need, so that's one part of it, and we need to build the other part. So we start with A9, which is this bit here. All right, so we need to build the bottom part of this headpiece, and we need A9, and we need 2 D1s. And holding the piece as we see here. So 1 D1 goes in there, here. And the other D1 goes in there, like that. Now we need B6, B being a yellow frame. And we go to B6, which is up here. It goes on there, and then we need a D3. And on it goes, and then this all comes together, like so. And that's what it should look like. So there's head part 1. And we'll do the other side for head part 2. So for that we need A10, which is over here. Rubbish goes in there. So A10 and 2 D1s. And they go there. 1, 2, push them all the way in. And then we need A15. This piece right here. Lovely. And it goes on there like so. And then we need a D4. Make sure the D4 goes on the correct way, which is the little hexagonal end in first. If you're not sure what hexagonal means, it basically means something that's not round all the way. It has sharp edges. Not sharp edges, but you know, a section that's flat, and then flat, and flat, and flat, and so on. So there's that, and now we need to do the bottom parts. We need an A12 with 2 D1s. So pieces like this, and they're going in the holes here, which is here and here, and like so. You need a B5 up here. B5, and one goes in there, like so, and then we need a D3, which will go into this slot here. So D3 goes in here. Like that. And then this all joins together. Like so. So it's head part 2, which you can see is pretty much a copy of the other side, just reversed. Like so. Okie dokie. So then we need this piece here, and head part 1, which is this piece, goes on here and here, there, and then this piece, which hydraulic ram connects it in there. Oh, and we need C16, which is C is white, and C16 is over here. Make sure I put them in the right spot. And C16 goes up here in this direction, and on the other side like that. So then when the hydraulic ram is moved, it moves the head up and down. Alright, step 8. Make sure you guys can see that. Step 8, we need C4, a D1 and a B24. So C is white, and we need a C4, which is this piece here. So a C4, a B24, B24 right here. And a D1. We already have a D1 ready to go. No, I don't. And a D1. And so our D1 goes in here, and then our B24 goes on like so. And then we get a B30 and a B1. This is B30 here. Make sure it goes in the correct hole, which is under there, like so. And then a B1. And our B1's up here. And in it goes. So you got something like that. Now we need 3 D3s and a B28. So 3 D3s. One, 2, 3, and they go in these 3 holes here. Pretty straightforward. Make sure there's no burrs on the ends. What we're making here is head part 3, and then a B28. B28 up here. And what we're making here is the lower jaw of our dinosaur. So we'll go ahead and do step 9, which is to make head part 4, which would be the opposite version of that. So we need C8. C being our white frame, and there it is, C8. So C8, a D1. D1 goes in the hole right there, and then a B23 right here, and there's B23. Yep. It's on the floor. So, C8 with the D1 and B23. Like so. And now we need a B29. Here. It goes in there. B1. Joins those 2 together. Couple of burrs there, we'll take them off. And then a B27. And that's our teeth, and on, there you go. So we've created the opposite to that. So step 10, we need to do head part 3, which is this piece here, and it goes onto here and here, like that. Pretty simple. And then this piece goes on to there and there, and they connect in the middle. Like so. So then when we do our hydraulics, let's see what happens. Oh, that is cool. All right. Step 12, we need C5. This piece here. And the eye we already made. And we need a D1. And the D1 goes in the top here, like that. And this goes over the top, like so. And then into this position here. In there, like that. And then the same for this side. Okay. And D1. Goes in here. This piece goes over the top. And in there, there's the eyes. So now we need to do our right claw, so we need a right claw, this one, and a B34, one of these, this one here. And a D1. So D1 goes in there, and then this bit on there, like so, and another D1, and there, and it goes on these pieces here, like that. And then we get the left paw, and we get a B35. B35. A left paw, and two D1s. One goes in here to connect the left arm to the claw. And the other one goes to the top of the arm to connect it to the body. So that's how we're looking so far. And then it says here that you need to do a test to make sure the jaws open up and down, which they do, and then to position this in the correct spot. And that is to put it in there, and there, like so. Making sure that the hose doesn't go outside that area. So now don't use the hydraulic ram. Leave it as is. Okay, team? So, on to step 15, we need B9 and 2 D1s. So, B9. There it is. You see, this is quite a long build. This is quite a long video already, I'm sure. So it definitely makes sense to not drop things on the floor. Okie dokie. So, facing this way, we've got that piece goes there, and we need 2 D1s. So D1 there and D1 in the last hole. And then it goes in there at the back, like so. Turn it around, and then we do a B11. B11, some D1s, there's 1, there's 2, and the D1s go on here. Like that. And then this piece burr there. And it goes on there like so. And then we have a C17. C is our white frame. And here it is here, C17. And it goes over the back, like that. Alright, on to page 53. So now we need our solar module, B36, B37 and A17. So here's A17. You know we're getting close to the end when there's not many pieces left in the frames. It's always a nice thing. So there's A17, and we need B36 and B37. And here they are, 36, 37. And holding it like so. We can see 37 goes on here. And then there, and then the same goes here. Like so. And then we need to do, hang on, nope, done that wrong. here's our pieces here. They're looking like this, and then we put some D1s in the holes here by the side. So we get some trusty D1s. Dropping on the floor. There we go. So, step 17, we need C7, D1, and A4. So we're going to D1 out. A4. These are A4s. And a C7. These are C7s. C7, D1 in there, and then A4, so we're looking like this. And that goes from there. That's it. And then another C7. Yeah, like that, and then this piece we have one piece which goes on here, and the other one goes on there. And then we don't do the same thing on the other side, so we need a C7 times 2. One of the C7 goes on here. Another C7 connects to an A4. D1. A4, D1, and C7. And then on it goes here. That. And it gives us a diagram there. This is what we should be looking at. And that's what we've got. So, under here is a couple of points. 1, 2, and with these points here on step 20 on page 54. And 2 D1s and 2 A4s. So, here's the last of our A4s. Floor again. Now I've retrieved my little A4 from the floor, and I've I've got a D1 ready to go. And put the D1 in this hole of an A4. And it goes under here. Like that. And I need to get another D1. Once again, it goes in this hole of the A4, which then goes under here. And I need a B13, and a B12, and a B22. So B13, B12, where's the B12? B13, B13, we need a B22, over here, B22, and I need a D1. I hope you're not going to run out of D1s, using these guys a lot. So I start with my B12. That's a B13. So this is my B12. And I put a D1 in here. So this bit goes on there. Like so. Then B22 goes on there. And this bit clips into here. Just like that. And then these bits just come in there. So they don't connect to anything, that's just forming the basis of the tail of the T-Rex there, let's say. Alrighty, step 22, we need to get a D2 and a C3 and a D2. I'm going to make 2 of them, so 4 D2s. We'll start with that. 4 D2s, a C3, a C3, times 2, so we need 2 of them. And then our D2s, a little special attention that the split part faces outwards. So you've got one here and one there, and that's one of them. And you do the same here. Split part facing outwards, and then the split goes inwards there. So this should be able to spin if you hold the end of this part. Pay particular attention to those parts. Right, so holding our model, we can see that one of these, with this pointing upwards, goes in this hole here. Like that, and engages these cogs here, and it needs to point upwards. Same on that side, pointing upwards. Oh no, sorry, and this side goes downwards. So they're on the opposites, like that. One up and one down. So you see here the diagram. Right side up, left side down. Nice one. Well, we are just about there with our instructions team. I'm very excited about that. I know you guys are too. So, step 25, we need C6, which is this piece here. B20 times 2. Then D3 times 2 and D1. So 1 D1 and 2 D3s. That fell on the floor. We got it back. All good. So our C1, hold it in this direction. We put a D3 in here, like so. D1, little one, goes in this hole here. D3 goes in there. We then get a right hand claw, and it goes on there. Like so. Right hand claw goes on there. We then have our B20, and it goes there, and then there, like so. And then we get add to this, we need D1 times 2, so 2 D1s. So, here's an A18. Here's our A18. And it goes on here. Like that. We have 3 D1s go in these 3 holes here. So there's one of them. Cut out 2 more. And there you go. We need a B8. B8. Goes on there. We need a D2. D2 goes on the inside in here. And B15 and our B15 there, like so. We need D4. Making sure we put this in the right way, so the split end of it goes in here. In there, like so. So it goes all the way through. And then you can see where all these holes are lined. There's a hole here, and then there's this piece here. So put this on there, and one on here, so in there, and in there. Like so. And then we do the reverse in step 26, so we'll turn that around. And we'll start with our C6. And then our white frame is the C frame. We need a C6. We need 2 D3s and a D1. So D1 and 2 D3s. D3s go in here. 1, 2. And then our D1 goes in this hole here. We have a left claw. On it goes. We have 2 B20s. And that's the last, this A19 is the last piece from our blue frame. That is very, very exciting. There's a blue frame done. Fantastic. And we need some D1s times 2. Parts cut out there already because I know I'm going to need them. So back to it. 2 D1s, and they go in the top 2 pieces here. We then have goes on there, and then D1 times 3. D1s over here. Fingers are getting a bit sticky. Down the table. B7 goes on here, and then we need a D2, which goes in the top part. And then D16. and then the leg attaches. So we need a D4. And the D4 goes in here, like that. Put this in the wrong side. That goes better. So this guy goes on there. And then that bit goes there. This on the wrong side. There we go, push that up. And it goes on. There. And there is our completed dinosaur team. And make sure we put these in the right sections. And then we'll go take it outside and test it. So there you have it, team. There is our completed dinosaur. So you can see here that the solar panel will create energy for the electric motor. The electric motor will then turn these gears in here, which will then both move the legs and close and shut the T-Rex's jaws. So let's get it outside and see how it goes. Okay, now that we have finished our T-Rex, it's time to crack on with the robotic arm. So let's get stuck into it. And just like last time, it's in plastic, so make sure when you take all the parts out of the plastic, you put that plastic straight in the bin. We don't want that to be a potential choking hazard for any younger brothers or sisters. So take our parts out. If you're in little bags, we'll leave those parts in that little bag. And this one doesn't have batteries included, so we'll need to get some batteries to give it a good test. But I can show you how to build it, and then you guys can put the batteries in and go right ahead and use it. So I'm sure you guys can see that. So, adult supervision is required, kids, if you're under the age of 8 years. There is some small parts here, so be very careful. Don't lose anything. Don't drop them on the floor. If you do pick them up straight away, there could be things like this, could be potential choking hazards. So really be as safe and as careful as you possibly can. And it requires 2 AA batteries, so you have to get some of those to make it work. But just about everything these days uses an AA or a AAA battery. Yeah, so when you're doing it, just like the other robot, only go one step at a time. Okay, so let's get stuck into it. So we've got instructions here. So we need piece D and piece E, and these pieces look like this. So E has our little locator here, and we have F, which looks like this. This is F, and all the parts are laid out here too for you, so it's easy to figure out which one's which. But we'll put that on there, like so, and then this one goes on top there, like that. And then we have C, which is this piece here, and it goes on there, like so. And then we have G, and G goes over the top, and we have our screws which hold it all together. Remember, if you're using sharp knives, get mum and dad's permission first before you use them. Make sure we put all our plastic in the bin. Yeah, so if you're using sharp knives, get mum and dad's permission, or ask them to use the knife for you. So here we go, our screws go in here. Compared to the dinosaur, this one is a lot easier. And mums and dads, if you haven't got one of these are fantastic. This is a ratchet screwdriver. So basically what it means is you never have to take the tip out and turn it. It just does it all for you. There it goes. Like that. For we need this piece. Got it wrong way around. Alright, you see it slides in under there. Like that. There we go. You guys see that? So you slide this part under here. And then we have this piece, which goes on there, and then the screw goes in here. And it goes, and that holds the arm in position. You see the operation here. When this section here turns, it opens and closes our jaws. Alright, so this part's already been done for you. You can see here that H and L and putting the motor in is already done, so it makes it even faster. So now we go to this side. K. That goes on there. Turn the instructions over. And we have piece piece J lines up from here, and then our screws go in. Pretty straightforward, this one. A lot easier than building the T-Rex. That was a couple of hour mission. This one's a lot more straightforward. So we're up to step 9, and now step 10. We need to find piece N, and in it goes in here like so. And we find our base. Slides in like that. So just check now, make sure your model is looking like this. If not, go back through the steps to figure out what you may have missed. But if it is, you can keep on going. And on to step 12, where we get our 2 key pieces, which will hold our wires in place. And remember, it's red to red here, and black to black. So, here they are. And we've got black, and black, and we twist them together. Red. In here and secured with those cuts. All the way in. And the cut goes in and holds in position, like so. Another cap here. Hold that one in position. Like so. And then of course we need batteries. And that's the next step, is to put our batteries in. So we'll go get some and then we'll try it out. And then you can see here we have some controls. Hook our cables in through there. We have some controls here, so we have sideways and we have up and down. So, time to get some batteries, and then we can start lifting up some of these blocks here and see how it all works.